In Algebra 2, we are going to be covering Lesson 84, which is on solving rational equations. And we are going to start in right into lesson practice, but I want to go over the two different methods we're going to use. And it just depends on how many fractions we have, because that'll depend on what method makes the most sense. So if there's one fraction on each side of the equal sign, we're simply going to cross multiply. If there are more than one fraction or two fractions on one side, then the fastest is to multiply each part by your least common denominator. So we're going to jump right in. It's on page 595, and we're going to jump into part A. So part A wants us to solve 2x minus 2 divided by 3x equals 5 over 2. So this one I have one fraction on the left of the equal sign and one on the right. So for this problem, I'm simply going to cross multiply. And that means we're multiplying diagonally. So I'm going to multiply 2x minus 2 times 2. So 2 times 2x minus 2 equals 3x times 5. I'm then going to distribute, so 4x minus 4 equals 15x. I'm going to subtract the 4x, and I have negative 4 equals 11x. Divide by 11, and x equals negative 4 over 11. Okay, so moving on to part B. So part B, solve 30 over x equals x plus 4 over 2. So again, here I have one fraction on each side, so I get to cross multiply. So that means I'm multiplying diagonally. So 30 times 2 must be equal to x times x plus 4. Then we're going to distribute, so 60 equals x squared plus 4x. Now in this one, I have a degree of 2. So that signals to me that I'm going to be either factoring or quadratic formula. So I'm going to subtract 60, and I have 0 equals x squared plus 4x minus 60. And I think that's factorable. Negative 60, positive 4, 10 minus 6. So my factors are x plus 10, x minus 6. So my solutions are the opposite, negative 10 and positive 6. Moving on to part C. So solve 3x over x plus 1 is equal to negative 1. Now for this one, I only have a single fraction on the left, but on the right-hand side I have a constant. But remember, I have an invisible 1 underneath, so I can still cross multiply. So 3x times 1 equals negative 1 times x plus 1. So that gives me 3x equals negative x minus 1. Add the x. 4x equals negative 1, so x equals negative 1 fourth. And I think I wrote lesson practice down wrong. I think this is a 3. Sorry, I wrote the lesson practice down wrong. This should be a 3, which makes this a negative 3. That's my bad. And so my answer is negative 3/4. So for these first 3, I was able to cross multiply because I have a single fraction on each side. Now these next few are not like that. We're going to move on to this second method where I'm going to have more than one fraction on one side of the equal sign, so I'm going to need to multiply everything by the least common denominator. So in part D, we're going to solve 5 minus 4 over x equals x. So the reason I cannot cross multiply here is because I have two items on the left. And so we're going to have to, the fastest method is to multiply all by LCD. So I have an invisible 1 here, so my LCD is 1x. So I'm going to multiply everything. I'm going to multiply this by 1x. I'm going to multiply this guy by 1x and this guy by 1x. That leaves me with 5x minus 4x over x equals x squared. Now, these x's are going to cancel. So I have 5x minus 4 equals x squared. Now, I see an x squared, so I know I'm going to probably need to factor. So I'm going to subtract 5x and add 4. So I now have 0 equals x squared minus 5x plus 4. So I'm going to factor this. That's positive 4, negative 5. So negative 4, negative 1. X minus 4, x minus 1. So my solutions are 4 and 1. Beautiful. Okay, moving on to, we have two more parts. So part E, we are going to solve for 8x over x minus 1 minus x plus 33 over x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 9. So, again, I cannot cross multiply because I have more than one fraction on the left. And even if I move this over, I still have two items on the right. So the fastest method here is to cross multiply. Is to multiply all by LCD. So I'm going to figure out the factors of this guy. So I've got negative 3, positive 2, so that'd be 3 and negative 1. So I'm going to rewrite this. 8x over x minus 1 minus x plus 33 over, I'm going to write it in factored form so that I have a better idea of what my least common denominator is. So my least common denominator, when I look at these denominators, so underneath 9 is just a 1. These two both have x minus 1. What they don't share in common is x plus 3. So this is my LCD. So I'm going to multiply everything by my LCD. I'm going to multiply this fraction by my LCD, this fraction by my LCD, and this. Now I know what it was multiplied out, so x squared plus 2x minus 3. So for this, these cancel, and I'm going to distribute 8x times x plus 3 minus, these both cancel, so I have minus x plus 33 equals 9 times x squared plus 2x minus 3. Nothing cancels over here. So I'm now going to distribute. So I get 8x squared plus 24x minus x minus 33 equals 9x squared plus 18x minus 27. Now I'm going to get everything on one side. So I'm going to subtract the 8x squared. I'm going to subtract the 24x. I'm going to add x to both sides, and I'm going to add 33. So I'm just getting it all on one side so that I have 0 equals 9x squared minus 8x squared is x squared. 18 minus 24 plus x is negative 5x. 33 minus 27 is positive 6. So 6, negative 5, negative 3, negative 2. So x equals 3 and 2. That is a long problem. I realize that. But good news is you only have one more. So in the last part, F, we are solving for 3x over x squared minus 1 equals 4 over x. Okay, now this one has one fraction on each side. So we get to cross multiply. So 3x times x must equal 4 times x squared minus 1. So 3x squared equals 4x squared minus 4. If I subtract the 4x, I get negative 1x squared equals negative 4. Divide, I get x squared equals 4. And if I take the square root, x equals plus or minus 2. And that completes that section. For homework 84, we are going to skip numbers 4, 16, 18, 22, 25, and 26. Thank you.